Hi, my name is Katie Winston. I'm the staff behavior specialist with Montgomery County Animal Services. I'm here with a dog training video going over how to use luring, shaping, and capturing to train behaviors in dogs. And you can train any number of behaviors. For the sake of this video, I'll be demonstrating sit and down, which are the two most common behaviors that someone would want a dog to do. Just a quick explanation of the environment that I want to teach a dog a new behavior in. We want a quiet environment with few distractions so that the dog can kind of focus on you and focus on kind of the learning process. That's why we are in the community room, away from barking dogs. The best place to teach a new behavior isn't in the most challenging situation. So teaching a new behavior on the dog walking loop when there's many other dogs around and there's a lot going on, you're less likely to be successful and you'll just end up frustrating yourself and the dog. So getting a good reinforcement history on a behavior in a less challenging setting before moving on to then a more challenging setting is likely to be successful for you and the dog. I have a wall hitch right here. For me, I find it easier to attach the dog to a stationary object while I'm training it. It gives me both of my hands. Also, if you have a dog that really likes to jump up on you, it's a good time to practice what would be considered negative punishment for jumping. Negative punishment meaning you remove something that the dog finds rewarding in order to decrease the likelihood of the behavior. All I have to do if the dog starts jumping on me is step away. I don't have to worry about pushing it or telling it off or anything like that. And we can work on polite greetings that way. So if I'm walking up to the dog and the dog starts getting amped up, again, I remove my attention from it. So while we're working on polite behaviors like sit or down, we can also work on reducing unwanted behaviors like jumping. So that's a useful tool for that. I don't want to be giving the dog a large treat each time it performs a behavior. I want to be giving it several small reinforcements so that they remain interested in the reward, in this case food, and so that I'm just not overfeeding the dog. As you can see, Zachary already has a reinforcement history on sit, so that's why he's offering it as a behavior. So if I wanted to capture a behavior, that means the dog is already performing it and I'm reinforcing it while he's performing it. So he's sitting, he gets a reward for that. This is easy, so if I have a dog that I'm not trying to put a behavior like specifically on a cue, but I just want to reinforce behaviors as I see them, especially for a dog that has a little bit trouble kind of focusing. You want to reinforce any instance of a good behavior that you see. So if I see a dog just with all four on the floor, okay, I'll reinforce that. If I see a dog, if I'm walking with a dog and they have less tension on the leash, I'll reinforce that. Because I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the learner, I'm just capturing a behavior. And it shows the dogs that they can kind of offer behaviors and be rewarded for them. One of the other techniques that we can use to train a behavior, especially if we want the dog to do something specific, is luring. Luring is when you have a treat that you kind of move so that the dog will follow and deliver the reward when it's in the position that you want it to be in. I know from past history with Zachary specifically that he is not very chompy with treats. So in his specific case, I know that if I have a treat that he doesn't have access to, he's just going to lick my hand. He's not going to go for the treat. With a different dog, I would have to modify that. So there isn't one uniform. If you do it this way with every single dog, it'll always work out. Again, you sometimes do have to modify techniques based on the dog that you're working with. So with luring, I have a treat, and then if I want him to go into it down, I lure it down, and then once he's in the position that I want, he gets the reinforcement. As you can see, obviously Zachary has a lot of history with sit, so we did already perform that behavior. I found that actually a lot of our dogs will kind of offer a sit when they see a treat. If I wanted to teach a young dog that didn't know that, using luring would be something like this. So a lot, having it at their nose and then moving it backwards over their head so that their butt kind of goes down in order to get the treat. So shaping is rewarding close approximations to a behavior while working on the end behavior. So that's usually done with a little bit more complex behaviors. So like if I wanted to teach a dog to spin in a circle, I would reward it for moving in one way or another, and then just keep on going in successive approximations until it did the full rotation. You sometimes use it like with a sit or with a down if they're really struggling to get the full down. So if he could only get to about here before changing, like popping up or doing something else, I might have to start rewarding him just for this, and then work our way down. But you can use shaping, luring, and capturing, also capturing. You can use shaping and luring to teach a dog any number of tricks. So if I wanted to teach it shake or bow, like if a dog happened to stretch out into a bow, I'm like, oh, that's cute, I want to reinforce that. You can do it through those methods.